Um,
There he goes again.
right. I really didn't think about it that much. I didn't worry about him being out firefighting because I just felt, how bad could it be around here in this area, in this, suburban area. So I really didn't think about the, himself putting him in the way of trouble.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really didn't think much about that.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
he was doing his thing out there. He was doing his job.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was his first love, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was his second love. Oh, dear.
Well, what happened? Time flew.
Right, I mean, it seems that, year by year can go slow, but all of a sudden, 10 years, 15, 20, 63.
Yeah, look back on the...
Who would have thought that's, when you first, and in fact, a lot of things that when you first get married, you can overlook. But as time goes by, you say, no, I'm not going to put up with that. But, because he was very, very involved in the fire department. He really gave his all and stuff. And to the point where I feel like he neglected us because, he was gone. He had a meeting. He had a fire.
I think I took Craig one time to fire with me. Just let him sit in the front seat. Well, depends what rank I had at the time.
Okay.
And fireman, he marched, with size. So wherever the tall was, that's what it was. Then when you're company officer, you're up front. When you're chief officer, you're way up front. And then when you're former chief, you're between the chiefs and the company officers. So you're still up front.
Yeah.
And then when you get to be old and antique like me, you can get a ride. It's funny because back when I was much younger, 6, maybe I was 6, maybe I hadn't made 6 yet. They had a parade, fireman's parade, that went right by my house in Woodmere. And all I remember is these people, they seemed huge to me, and I wanted to hide under the bed. That's when I was 6. But it all changed as I got older. Once in a while, especially when I was at Oceanside, not so much Woodmere, but when I was at Oceanside, and depending on how many new people we had, we would practice parading, marching, and worked so much better when you got drum to beat the step out for you. But yeah, and we were proud. We took first countywide and everything a good number of years in a row, and of course we had a good sized fire department, but but it was that's when you come on down and people would get up and applaud for you and all the rest of that stuff that made you feel like you were 10 foot tall. It was a job. Depending on what branch of service, what the job was in the Army. If you were in the infantry, artillery, several times a year, you'd be out in the field training. Me, I was a military policeman, so every day I was working because your job was just like a civilian cop, except you did a military. When I first went over there, we were Army of Occupation. They hadn't signed the final peace treaties or nothing. So you worked every day. And I liked it. And it gave me my experience to file for when I got out of the service for my real-time job, which put the meals on the tables, as a security director at the largest hospital on Long Island. Well, back in the day when I first joined, where I lived, our biggest call was grass fires or brush fires, however you want to put it. I always called them the high meadows, but you had the bulrushes, and every fall they'd want to go on fire. And I remember one time going out where we dropped 2 guys off with brooms and Indian tank pumps. That was 5 gallons of water you carry on your back, and then the engine moved to the next fire call, because I think we had 4 going at one time. So I mean, you know, for one engine to handle. And then some other times you'd sit at the firehouse and watch TV all day. There's nothing. But yeah, it started out, to tell you the truth, you say I wet my nose on grass fires, and that's what most people did when I was growing up. Oh, that was fun. Basically, because you had to work with your brain and your mouth, not with your back. But you went out on everything. It could be a car fire, could be a grass fire, it could be just an automatic alarm, which was, you know, go home. But you have a lot of calls. And we ran in Oceanside, because in the 70s I was living over here. We'd run something like maybe 1,800 runs a year. Where when I first started out in Woodmere, if we had 100 calls a year, it was a lot. It was fun. You know, you gotta remember one thing. Being a firefighter on Long Island, not the city, Long Island, you do it because you like it, because it's in your blood to get out and do. As I always said, when you play football, you're Saturday's hero. When you're a fireman out here in Nassau County, you're every day's hero. Because you never know when you're going to go. It may be nothing. It might be pulling somebody out of a burning building and saving a life. So it's a lot different. And you don't do it for money. You do it for, believe it or not, enjoyment. Yeah, you're protecting people's property, but you're enjoying it, making you feel good, buffs up your ego. I tell you, how many times I'd, you know, walk the streets when I grew up in Woodmere, and I was only captain there, and a small town. They go in there and people come, how you doing there, Cap? How's everything going? All quiet in the firehouse? You know, I said, geez, you recognize me? Who the hell are you? But I mean, you know, but that's what you got out here in a small town or whatever. Oceanside's a lot bigger. Most places, population of Oceanside would see a paid fire service. And when you get a paid fire service, when you have about 35,000 people, you might only get 2 people responding on a truck. With the volunteers, you end up with 8 people on a truck. The more bodies, the more work you can get done. Miss it. But that comes with age too. You go there and, you know, people call you chief, and once a chief, always a chief. You're going to work with it. But, you know, you're not doing it. And if you like being a fireman or firefighter, whatever you want to say, you miss that. But whether you were chief or not, when your age catches up on you, you're going to be on the sidewalk anyway. But it's nice. I say I miss it. I don't do too much getting around now, because I don't know, I'm 92. But I miss going to the firehouse. And I haven't been there in a while, and I'll bet you if I walked in the door, there'd be so many new faces, they wouldn't, what are you doing in here, old man? You know, it comes with age. And the older you get, the more people are going to be calling you old man. Good.
Oh, well,
because the alternative stinks.
We'll always call you chief, though.
Yeah.
Chief for life.
That's what it is, yeah.
Well, that's all I have. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh, Jesus, it's a pleasure.